Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Teens Talk Movies. I'm your host, Trevor, and with me, as always, for the most part, we have Thomas. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We got quite a lot to get through this week. Quite a lot of trailers came out, but yeah, I'm excited to talk about them with you.
Lots of trailers. Lots of, minor news, but, a ridiculous amount of trailers.
Yes.
There shouldn't be this many trailers in a week.
No, it feels like we are almost back to normal.
Almost. Atticus is not here. I'm trading you guys back and forth. I can't get you guys on the same show.
No.
But no, Atticus, he's on a socially distanced and mask wearing vacation right now. Thomas, is the UK open back up yet?
It is opening back up basically tomorrow. April 12th is when all sorts of stuff like theme parks and restaurants, they're opening tomorrow. So
Got it. Yeah, I just, all I really care about at this point is movie theaters. I just want them back. I'm fine with restaurants being closed and whatever. Mm-hmm. Just give me movie theaters back.
Yeah.
Just give me movie theaters. Give me theaters or give me death. That's an American reference. So that's right. Yeah, no, I always find it interesting. Sorry, this is supposed to be a movie show, but I always find it very interesting how what is taught about the American Revolution in British schools. Sorry, I've taken the show completely off the rails from the start.
Almost nothing.
Interesting.
In fact, nothing. I've learned nothing about the American Revolution. The only way I've learned about it is through Hamilton. That's
wow. Because that's a core of American education. That's one of the first things you learn about in history in preschool. You learn about George Washington and Paul Revere and everything.
Yeah. Anything about that.
Yeah, which is interesting. Very, very interesting.
Then you probably haven't learnt about Elizabethan England or the Tudor times.
Are you still speaking English?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's very, very interesting to just based off of where you live, what type of history you're taught, and then how it's all very subjective on what you're taught. But anyways, back to movies. But yeah, no, Atticus unfortunately couldn't make it this week, and he was gonna have to record something in a car, so he just didn't want to have that kind of audio issue, so he didn't send anything in, but I'm sure we'll hear his thoughts later. But we got plenty of stuff today, as Thomas said, tons of trailers and clips and stuff, as well as Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4, and what an episode it was.
Yes, to say the least.
An episode. We'll get into spoilers at the end of the show, but yeah. But let's kick it off. We're heating up to award season. The Oscars are in 2 weeks. Next week will be our Oscars preview and prediction show. But Thomas just learned that we were doing that next week.
Yes.
So, but we got the SAG Awards. For those who don't know, SAG stands for the Screen Actors Guild, not just sags in your cheeks or something. So let's talk about these awards. So, outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture went to Wonder Woman 1984, which, okay. I mean, whatever. The other nominees were The Five Bloods, Mulan, News of the World, and Trial of the Chicago 7.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird category, that one. How do you judge what makes a good stunt ensemble? But I guess they just judged it. We Wonder Woman 1984.
Right, because if you're just talking about the best ensemble cast out of all 5 of those films, it's Trial of the Chicago 7 hands down. But are there stunts in there?
No.
I mean, a little bit in the riot.
Maybe the riot and protest scenes, but
it just depends on are you judging this off of the best stunts by a cast in a movie or the best cast with stunts in a movie? And I feel like they judged it as the best cast with stunts in a movie, but then it makes no sense to nominate Trial of the Chicago 7 if you weren't gonna have it win. So I don't know, but this isn't an Oscars category. Neither is the next one, which is outstanding performance by an ensemble cast, which did go to Trial of the Chicago 7.
Yeah, makes
Other
sense.
nominees: The Five Bloods, Ma Rainey's, Minari, and One Night in Miami. One Night in Miami is a solid pick, I think, if I were to pick a second.
Yeah, but I think Trial of Chicago 7 did have a lot of great performances. Like, One Night in Miami was basically 4 people, whereas
Yeah,
Trial of Chicago 7 was a lot more.
absolutely. So for the Oscar, I guess, type categories, the ones that could influence the race. So of course, like the male categories this year, there's like nothing really to talk about. It's Chadwick Boseman and
No.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, definitely agreed.
That's they won here, they've won everywhere else. That's just what happened. That's what's happening. If you don't think Chadwick Boseman and Daniel Kaluuya are going to win at the Oscars, you need to get yourself checked out.
Yes.
There's something wrong with you. But the actress categories continues to get weird. So for supporting actress, Yoon Yoon Jun from Minari won. Yes, so excited.
Yep.
Supporting actress has been all over the board. We still haven't had a consistent winner. I have no clue what the Oscars are going to do. Like, so many different people have won. Like, Amanda Seyfried, like we still have the BAFTAs, but Amanda Seyfried was snubbed at the BAFTAs. So, like, I still think that Olivia Colman is going to win at the BAFTAs, which means that Amanda Seyfried can win at the Oscars, and we'd have a different winner at each of the major 5 ceremonies.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't know if that would happen. I don't see Amanda Seyfried winning at the Oscars. I feel like it will be one of the other 4. But who knows? This season's been all over the place, so.
I'm still hoping for Yoon Yoon Jun.
Yeah.
And this is a great step to get the SAG award. Massive step.
I could definitely see it happening.
Okay. Viola Davis won Best Actress for Ma Rainey's. Not to say that Viola Davis is bad. She is great in Ma Rainey's. There's a reason she's been getting nominated everywhere. But winning?
Yeah.
I mean, you have Trey Morgan. You have Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. Like, I mean, Andra Day is still there. Granted, I think Viola Davis is better than Andra Day, but like, I don't know. I don't see Viola. So like, the SAGs really loved Ma Rainey's. They gave it both of the lead acting categories.
Yeah.
So I don't know the 2 actors categories. I have no clue what's going to happen.
Yeah, I still think Carey Mulligan is the favorite at the Oscars. I think it is really between her and Frances McDormand still, despite this win.
Yeah.
But who knows? Viola Davis could slip in there.
Andra Day, I've heard people say Andra Day has a chance to pull off the upset. Like, I know the last time I checked, I know that's what Dan Murrell is predicting, film critic Dan Murrell. He thinks that Andra Day is going to slip in and take Best Actress. And granted, that may have changed. But the last I heard, that's what he's going with. He's going with the upset. So, like, this could go all over the place. Like, Vanessa Kirby could come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
With actors and supporting actors, we really don't know, which is nice because picture, director, actor, and supporting actor are kind of flux.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see Minari or Judas coming out of nowhere, but
yeah, I think that one's a bit up for grabs. I mean, Nomadland is still a pretty clear favorite at this point, but that one could still go either way. The actor categories are just not really worth talking about. Even they are looked up.
Yeah, but actress is very, very interesting. So, next thing on the docket. Sylvester Stallone, not going to be in Creed 3. He is not returning to play Mr. Balboa, Rocky. Should be a comma, but whatever. Thomas, thoughts on Sylvester Stallone saying he will not be in Creed 3?
I mean, it sort of makes sense from a studio perspective. I mean, they're trying to launch Creed as it's a new franchise essentially from the Rocky film, so it makes sense to sort of phase out the Rocky characters in it. Obviously, Creed is still related to a former Rocky character, but it makes sense to not have him in the film anymore. Also, he's very old now, Sylvester Stallone. I don't know what exact age he is, but he's pretty old to still be in these kind of high octane boxing films. So it makes sense from
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's 74 now.
wow.
So it does make sense. Also, we talked about last week. I know Thomas, you weren't there, but there being a Rocky prequel series that Stallone is developing. So maybe he steps away from Creed to start working on that. Do not know, but I mean, I'm not too affected by this. I'm still gonna watch Creed 3. This isn't like, oh, Stallone isn't in it. Well, it's, whatever. Interested to see what Stallone does next, or if he's just going to be stepping away from acting.
Yeah.
But next up, though, Warner Brothers is now considering making Dune a theatrical release only. Thoughts on this?
I think this film was a film that would make more sense to be just in cinemas. From the trailers, it seems quite artsy, I guess, like all the shots and cinematography and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I feel this may have been some pushback from the director, Denis
Villeneuve.
Yep, that. This may have been some kind of pushback from him, who didn't want his films to be seen on the small screen, which makes sense if he's put a lot of effort into it. But I'm excited to see either way.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'll be seeing it either way if it's theatrical or on screen, so it doesn't really affect me, but who knows?
Right, and so like his previous two films have been masterpieces, Arrival and Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So those are definitely movies that should be seen in the theaters.
Yeah.
So other interesting thing, after Godzilla vs. Kong killed it at the box office, Warner Brothers might be, after kind of seeing that, they might be going back on their strategy a bit. Because we also saw this week that Netflix is going to be Sony's sole distributor. So like all Sony movies, after they go out of theaters, go straight to Netflix now.
So what about all the Spider-Man ones, like with Tom Holland? Because I know there's always a bit of a...
I believe those will be on Netflix now.
Those will be on Netflix. Wow. Okay. I don't know how Disney will feel about that, but...
Yeah. Because that's it's interesting now, because I think that was because of what Warner Brothers has been able to do with HBO Max and do their theater, like simultaneous theater and streaming release, and how well it has worked for them. I think other studios were gonna sit back and watch, and once they saw that it worked, they're like, okay, we gotta do this now. And we saw Netflix and Sony do it. And it looks like Warner Brothers may be trying to move back to theaters, though, after the success of Godzilla vs. Kong, putting up like 32 million opening day, I think, which still isn't incredible. But for COVID
this time,
yeah, that's very, very good. Everything else was like 1 or 2 million. So very, very solid. So, now, Thomas, let's talk about the story that you were so excited to talk about. They're making a Peeps movie. Those who don't know what Peeps are, Thomas, you didn't. Would you like to inform the people what a Peep is?
So I looked them up, and they are apparently marshmallows. So
marshmallows,
they're a thing that we don't have at all in Britain. But this just feels so weird. Why are they making a film about marshmallows?
So so that was literally, I texted Thomas, hey, we're going to be talking about, because I'll send Thomas and Atticus like what we're talking about throughout the week when I find movie news. I sent there will be a Peeps movie. So he goes, what are Peeps? And then I wait a couple seconds, and he goes, what? They're making a movie about marshmallows? And then I was like, yeah, I guess they are. Because I didn't realize they didn't have those in Britain. I didn't realize that they just weren't a thing. Yes, they are making a movie about About marshmallows. Okay, so this could be fun if they get the right directors to handle it. Like if you put like someone like Chris McKay or Phil Lord and Chris Miller who have handled like some of the Lego movies.
Yeah.
And being almost satires of their own brand.
It could be fun. I don't think it'll be good necessarily, but it could be a fun little movie, I guess.
Don't sound too confident about it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. No, I have no thoughts about this. Just peeps suck. Like not even they aren't even like a good. They don't even taste good. I don't know why people enjoy them. Speaking of something that is good, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will begin shooting this year. Not too much to talk about with this other than I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah, definitely. Then they're not necessarily my favorite films in the MCU. A lot of people do really enjoy them. I don't think I enjoy them to that degree, but they are definitely very good, very enjoyable films. So very excited to see what happens with it.
I love 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is fine. I don't think it's great. I think it's good enough. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for this. James Gunn is a genius when it comes to doing anything like this. Like comedy and superheroes is like that is if you put James Gunn in that just is a recipe for perfection.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, I think it's undeniable how well made they are with James Gunn at the helm.
Yeah, definitely.
And how well James Gunn is able to handle and balance different characters within the team and direct comedy.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be as excited as I am if James Gunn was removed from the project and that was it.
Yes.
I am glad he's back, definitely.
Yes, I would be considerably less excited for this if James Gunn was not involved. So moving on, this is interesting. This could be an interesting discussion point. Spider-Man 4, there are strong rumors coming out of Sony that it will happen, directed by Sam Raimi and starring Tobey Maguire returning for the role. So this would be obviously like a 10 to 15 years after. We know this was supposed to happen, and then it just kept on getting pushed back, and then eventually they made The Amazing Spider-Man. So this is interesting because it kind of makes sense. We know that Tobey Maguire is coming back to play Spider-Man in Spider-Man Far From Home. It's from No Way Home.
No Way Home, yeah.
And we know that Sam Raimi is working back with Marvel because he's directing Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Also, what else is Tobey Maguire doing right now? Nothing.
No, yeah, that's true. That's very true. This is a weird one because it's been more than 10 years since the release of the last one. I think it's coming up to 15 years.
15 years? Yeah, it was 07.
2007, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this one. They are very 2000s films. They feel very dated if you look back at them. But, with the right guidance and the right, which hopefully if this is even mildly connected to the MCU, like if Kevin Feige is even just overseeing it a bit, I think it could end up being very good and very enjoyable.
Here's the problem. It will probably just be Sony, unless it turns into a tie-in to Spider-Man No Way Home. And we're like, okay, what happened to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man after we see him in No Way Home? I really don't know. You're right. This is very, very tricky. I would love to see it, just to see what it could have been. Because we know there was supposed to be Vulture and Black Cat as the main two villains. Whether that would change, likely, since they've already done Vulture.
Yeah.
So we'll see Black Cat, because there was that rumored Silver Sable and Black Cat project. Or not rumored, it was announced, and they canceled it. So I don't know. I would like to see this though, just to see what it could have been.
Mm.
I don't know if it would be good, but
Mm.
I feel about this the same way I feel about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like when I was just like, we didn't know if it was going to happen. I would like to see it just to see what it could have been and just to see these people get more work. Because
Yeah,
Tobey Maguire was a decent Spider-Man.
yeah. I mean, any. I'm not a massive fan of any of the Spider-Man films. I realized, like rewatching them, a couple of them.
Even Homecoming and Far From
Even
Home.
this Homecoming and Far From Home are the best of them. I'm not a massive fan of Spider-Man 2 even, which is claimed
Yeah,
as one of the best ones. So, I'm not too attached to Maguire Spider-Man. It would be nice to see him do some more, but, I'm not,
Spider-Verse.
yeah.
You love
Oh,
Spider-Verse,
no,
right?
I don't. I'm not a massive fan of that film,
Really?
which I know is a controversial opinion. It's not
You
that it's
don't like
bad,
Spider?
it's just, it was
Listen,
fine
I
to
gotta
me.
I gotta take Thomas out of here. Spider-Man here. I gotta explain. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the greatest film of all time because it revolutionized the anime. And Thomas can't talk. I muted. I took him out. So it revolutionized how animation works. It created a whole new style of animation. They, much like any kind of like comedic type superhero film, all of the characters were expertly balanced. Every one of them had a character arc. There was no character that felt sidelined. You fell in love with every character and then felt a pang every time one of them had to leave. How they develop Uncle Aaron's storyline with Miles, for those who didn't know the comics, it works perfectly. Thomas, don't itch your ear. Listen to me. So, uh, and then how they were able to work together, Miles and Gwen's friendship. It works so well to the point where you want to see all of these characters again, but you feel completely satisfied with the film that you just saw. It balances drama, like you can cry and laugh like 2 seconds apart. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thomas is wrong.
Yeah, I disagree. I didn't care about any of the characters in it.
Wow.
Not that they, and maybe the whole uncle storyline or that was sort of the best of it. But anyone else just felt, they were there. They were.
Well, the 97% on Rotten Tomatoes disagrees with you.
Yeah, I know I am in the minority on that one, and maybe it's because I saw it a year after it came out, and I had been
Oh,
hearing
yeah.
such great things about it, and so when I went and
That
saw
could
it,
be okay. That's fair because I saw it opening night.
yeah, I
Because I kind of feel the same way about Rocky. I thought Rocky was fine.
mm,
Just because it's been hyped up for me so much. So that's fair. But you're still wrong. But
it
that's
shouldn't have
also
beaten The
fair.
Incredibles 2 though, and it should not have
Whoa,
beaten The
whoa!
Incredibles 2. It should not.
Incredibles 2 is inferior to Incredibles,
No,
and
I personally
whoa!
believe Incredibles 2 is better than the first Incredibles film.
What are you? You get high? What are you talking about?
I'm deadly, deadly serious.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. We have some discussions that have to be had. Uh,
Yes.
anyways, that will happen off air. Uh,
Mm.
very, very interesting. I didn't know that you had a bad taste in film. So moving on,
Oh,
we will.
yeah.
I'm just kidding, but not really. So we're going to be getting. Have you ever heard of the TV show Ancient Aliens?
No, I have not. I have
Yeah,
not.
yeah. You'd probably like it, but because you like bad movies. But so no, I'm not gonna let this go. This is
Right. Yeah.
yeah. But no, so Ancient Aliens, it was a documentary series on history. And
Right.
so here's its description. Texts archaeology and legend contain evidence of past human extraterrestrial contact. It's basically these people going on tinfoil hat theories to try and find like aliens that exist, proof that aliens existed.
Okay. So
Came
is it
on for 16 seasons on History Channel, and they're making
okay?
a movie out of it.
Okay.
And
So
it's
is
going to
it
be made from the creators of Cobra Kai, the movie.
okay? Is the movie going to be real or a extended documentary? Do you know?
We do not know.
I don't know if that's been
I would love
announced.
to see Taika
Okay.
Waititi make a mockumentary, like
Yeah,
What We Do
that
in the
would be fun.
Shadows, about ancient aliens.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great film.
I love What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Never seen the show. Do you ever watch the show?
No, I have not seen
Okay.
the show.
Me neither. I've heard it's good. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, this is like, I don't know. Do we need this? Like, I put this under the same category of the Peeps movie. Do we need this? No. Do I want to watch it? Probably not. Will I watch it? Yes.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I probably will have to for the show, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. Lots of weird stuff. Another movie. Chris McKay, director of the Lego Batman movie, is making his live-action directorial debut, directing Chris Pratt in an action sci-fi film, The Tomorrow War, which Amazon has just purchased and scheduled for a July 2nd, 2021 release. So thoughts on this?
This is a film that has come out of literally nowhere. I have not heard anything
Yeah,
about it, and now it's releasing in what, a few months. That
yeah,
seems kind of weird to me.
with starring Chris
But
Pratt.
yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt, I enjoy most of the things he's been in, even the slightly dodgy ones like Passengers. I still enjoy it to a certain degree.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to it. And the Lego Batman movie was a film I enjoyed. So Chris
Yeah,
McKay clearly can direct. So yeah,
right.
it's an interesting one.
The doing live action is very different than animation. So like he's doing an action sci-fi thriller.
Mm,
It's very different than like a like self-deprecating comedy.
mm, yeah,
So in it's in a different medium. So I'm curious to see how you can do this. I wasn't able to see what the rest of the cast was aside from Chris Pratt. But I mean, I'll probably watch it. I don't know. I'm a bit apprehensive about it. Who else is in this? Literally nobody that I have heard of.
okay,
So
right.
that's nice. Like, okay. Um, yeah, nobody of note is in that. Sorry if you're one
Right.
of those nobody of notes that listening to this, but like,
I doubt they're listening to this. I think we're okay.
you never know. You never
You
know.
never know.
The internet is a strange place.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this movie because Chris Pratt can. I don't know. He's kind of hit or miss.
Mm.
Uh, just as far as like I mean, because he always brings a energy of fun into a performance, but like I don't know how it will be up to Chris McKay how well he's able to balance Chris Pratt's just natural comedy with trying to do an action sci-fi thriller.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Um, I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I really do not
Is
know.
there a trailer for it yet?
I think so. We can watch it during the break.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe there is one. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we'll watch it during the break before we get into trailers. But a couple more pieces of casting news. So Paul Dano joins Michelle Williams and Seth Rogen to play Spielberg's father in the Spielberg autobiography. So thoughts on how this cast is shaking up? We have Paul Dano and Michelle Williams as Spielberg's parents. We have Seth Rogen playing his uncle. Thoughts on Paul Dano joining the cast?
I mean, it's shaping out to be a pretty. It's not the most star-studded cast in the world. You know, Seth Rogen's probably the biggest of the names, I guess. But
I would say
it's
Michelle Williams is bigger than Seth Rogen.
yeah, maybe, but none of them are like, well, they are. It's not. So Steven Spielberg doesn't usually go down the route of picking up a special. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I guess it's shaping out to be a good cast. Is I guess where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And
like none of these people have
I hope
Schmoedown
Spielberg
slices.
I hope Spielberg is having a say in who he's casting.
Yes.
Since it is a film about him, so if he's having
Yeah.
a direct say, I'm sure I trust him to make the right decisions here. So I'm not too fully pulled down it, but who knows? I hope he'll be good.
I just know him from Cowboys and Aliens and then 12 Years a Slave.
Oh,
Also in There Will Be Blood and
in
Little Miss Sunshine. Prisoners.
Yeah, I do actually remember him in 12 Years a Slave. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, this is I was where you're going with this. Like, he never casts like the massive names in his films.
Yeah, that was sort of where I was going with it. Then I remembered he cast Tom Hanks in The Post, and I realized that's not true, actually.
Oh yeah, Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Yeah.
Yeah, that just came to my head as I was making the point.
Well, for the most part. I mean, because even like Harrison Ford, like, you know, it was post Star Wars, but like other than that, he'd really done nothing else unless you count like The Conversation, the Francis Ford Coppola movie, and then American Graffiti. So, you know, but no, I'm happy to see Paul Dano and Michelle Williams. Interesting pairing, but I could see it. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. We still don't know who's playing little Spielberg. Little Steve, little Spiels.
Which I think is interesting because usually in a film like this, you expect the person playing the main character to be the first one to be revealed. So I don't know if maybe they're holding off on revealing who it is, or they just haven't decided yet.
Well, the other thing is, it's going to be a child actor. Unless they pick like Jacob Tremblay or one of the kids from WandaVision. Probably isn't going to be something that the general public is going to know. So I feel like you build up the hype because people know who Michelle Williams and Seth Rogen is. Maybe not so many people know Paul Dano, but people know Michelle Williams and Seth Rogen. So you build up the hype because Michelle Williams was the first one cast. Then you had Seth Rogen, then you had Paul Dano. So I feel like they're building up the hype for the movie by the cast, and then you give us our Spielberg.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very, very excited for this shaping out. Speaking of Mr. Harrison Ford, though, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who you may know as L337 in Solo: Star Wars Story, joins the Indiana Jones 5 cast, and she will play the female lead. Thoughts on Phoebe Waller-Bridge joining Indiana Jones 5?
Well, she's also pretty known from British TV as well. So she's a comedic actor, essentially, which is interesting that they cast her as the female lead. But she does seem to be going more towards blockbuster films. And to be honest, none of the supporting lead actors in Indiana Jones have ever been that great. Especially the person in Temple of Doom. I don't remember her name. Karen Allen was probably the best. But
Kate Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw. Yeah, she's not great in that film.
No, well, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom is just kind of a bad movie, if we're being completely honest.
I'm not a massive fan of Temple of Doom.
Yeah, no. But no, Karen Allen, I think, is good. Alison Dewey, who plays Elsa Bloodstone, I can't remember her last name, Elsa, in Last Crusade. Like, she's fine, but like, honestly, the main supporting lead in that movie is Sean Connery, if we're being honest. So I would say he's probably the best of like the second leads, if you were to call it that. Because he's so good in Last Crusade, which, fight me, is the best Indiana Jones movie.
Nope.
Better than Raiders by far.
No, definitely. Definitely
far.
Not. Definitely not.
We need to have like a movie debate thing with Atticus moderating.
Yes.
Because it seems as though we have very different opinions. Very, very different opinions.
Okay. We do. Usually, I consider we have sort of similar opinions, but this show is really showing that maybe we don't.
Proving us wrong, because Raiders of the Lost Ark is decent. It's an 8 out of 10. Last Crusade's like a 9.5 out of 10.
Great film. I have actually changed my mind that it's the best film of all time. I rewatched The Shawshank Redemption, and for the fourth time. It's always been top 2, I guess, for Shawshank Redemption, but it's sort of leapfrogged into number 1. It's a film I love.
Got it. I think so. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of all time. I think the greatest film of all time is It's Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't like It's Wonderful Life?
No, it's not. I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
It's a good film. It's fair. I see where you're
So you have your favorite movie of all time and greatest movie of all time?
Oh, do I have that? Okay, so no, it's probably, I guess, the same both ways. The Shawshank Redemption to me is my favorite and the greatest.
Yeah, It's Wonderful Life was my favorite movie for a while. But yeah, no, I would say like my top 5 currently, as far as just like my favorite, like I was just like my top 5, in no particular order, because I go back and forth all the time. But it's Knives Out, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, It's Wonderful Life, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Lady Bird.
Wow. So 4 of them were after 2010. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them's a lot older.
Yeah.
In terms of my top 5, it's a tricky one. Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark is in there. The Shawshank Redemption's in there.
Challenge, it's just Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh.
I'm pulling out my inner Sam Levine.
Toy Story 3, I'd say, is up there.
Solid.
And then, I don't know, maybe a Fincher, maybe 7 is probably my favourite Fincher film. And I've got to have a Fincher film in there. And then one more, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah, I'll give you the 4 out of the top 5.
Got it. Yeah, because on Letterboxd you just get to pick 4. So I go back and forth on my 4. Right now, Lady Bird is currently sitting out, but tomorrow I might change my mind and put Lady Bird in over one of my 4. Because those 5 are those are just easily my top 5. Which I know you don't like. You aren't massive fans of a lot of those. Like, you aren't a massive fan of Spider-Verse. You aren't a massive fan of Grand Budapest Hotel.
I really did enjoy Lady Bird though. Lady Bird was a great film.
Yeah.
Knives Out as well.
So
great film.
Yeah.
In It's Wonderful Life. Yeah, I respect that choice. But yeah, the Grand Budapest Hotel, Into the Spider-Verse. I can see why they're so loved. Just personally, they're not really my cup of tea.
Which is fair, I guess.
Yes.
I'm just going to continue to give you a hard time about this, but yeah.
Right, okay.
No, you need a Letterboxd account though.
I know, I do. I'll get one sometime. Sometime I will get one.
Someday, you'll blow us all away. Speaking of Hamilton, Renee Elise Goldberry of the cast of Hamilton. What a transition.
That was very smooth. That was very smooth.
Renee Elise Goldberry of Hamilton is joining the cast of She-Hulk. So sure, yes, I'm happy. She's great in Hamilton. I would say I think she's the second best performance in the entire show behind Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay. Yeah. That's a respectful opinion.
You're so polite when you don't agree with me. I'm just like, you're freaking wrong. You're just, who's your favorite performance in Hamilton?
Who's my favorite performance?
As far as the film version.
The film version. I'd say I would agree with Leslie Odom Jr. as my favorite, but just Renee Ellie Scolberry, I wouldn't put necessarily outside. She was very good in it. But I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe King George.
The King Show. Well, yeah, he was good in it. Yeah.
How was your
But,
guys' reaction to how was your reaction to King George? Just like overall is like,
it's a it's a comedic interpretation. Yeah, it's not offending by any stretch of the imagination.
right.
But yeah, it's a part of a musical. Don't really know why it needs to be a part of a musical, but it's there.
Cause it's funny. It's so funny.
Oh,
And yes, it was
okay.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then just going back quickly to Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So I don't think she'll be a romantic interest just because of the age gap. That would be uncomfortable and weird. Having like a 40-year age gap there.
Yeah.
But I could see her as like
Yeah.
a spy type character. Or like someone helping Indy on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
but
see
yeah,
that. I could see that.
with She-Hulk though. So my pitch for She-Hulk is first 3 episodes are just like a courtroom like legal thriller. Don't even acknowledge it because it's just Jennifer Walters, the character of She-Hulk, courtroom legal thriller, right? And you just follow her on her cases, and you can get some fun references to the Marvel universe, like, oh yeah, this person's on trial for this or whatever. Maybe we even get a Charlie Cox cameo as Daredevil. How cool would that be? Or not even as Daredevil, just as Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
But right around the end of episode 3, if you make it like an 8-episode show or something, you follow the comic, somebody gets mad about like the way, like she like the against the opposing lawyer, so it'd be someone that she was trying to argue to convict. So then they shoot her, right? She's going to die. Mark Ruffalo comes in. He's Bruce Banner. Because they're cousins.
Okay.
Transfused the blood. And then anyways, she becomes She-Hulk. So the interesting thing with Jennifer Walters is like she doesn't like Hulk out. She's just like green and has like the strength of She-Hulk all the time, but she's like very like she's like normal, like her brain stays normal.
Okay.
So I think that's how you do it. You do it as like a legal thriller to start out that slowly morphs into a superhero show. And then like with the case that like caused her to get like shot, then she goes in and like investigates through all of that. And like how cool would it be if we continue to tie it into the Netflix universe, and then like she goes to like Jessica Jones to like help her and like do like investigations and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that bit. I mean, the Marvel Netflix shows are not great.
Okay, they are. Well, Daredevil is good.
Yep, Daredevil's the best of them, definitely.
I think that the performances were good, at least for Daredevil. Like, and Jessica Jones, I think those two.
Very good.
Yeah, the performances of the characters were good. Maybe the writing wasn't the best at times for a lot of the shows, but I think that all of the characters were cast pretty well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my idea for She-Hulk. Even if you take out the Marvel Netflix stuff, kick it off as a legal thriller, then you slowly turn it into a superhero show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Marvel Disney Plus stuff has been slow burn.
Yeah.
What was that?
They do. No, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I could see them definitely going in a direction like that. I'm not familiar with the character at all, but yeah, that sounds like a decent way of going about things.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, we will take a quick break, quick ad break, and then we will be back with some trailer talk and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we will be back in just a second, right after this. Hey everyone, it is Trevor from Teens Talk Movies, and I am here to talk to you about Anchor. So, if you have not heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. So first of all, it's free. Everybody loves free things. But sometimes free things aren't great, or there's a more expensive version. This is not the case with Anchor. It gives you everything you need. You have creation tools, you can record your show, you can edit your show right from a phone or a computer. There's literally no restrictions. And also, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So you don't have to do anything. You record, you press publish, and Anchor does the rest. Your podcast will be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, so much more. It's really amazing. I use Anchor all the time. I'm using it right now. It has literally been my livelihood throughout the pandemic. I use it almost every day to record different podcasts or edit shows. It's really amazing. Also, you can make money from your podcast. You can support yourself with a podcast. You don't have to have any minimum listenership. You could have one listener and make money off of ads. It's, like I said, Anchor is no restrictions. It gives you everything you need, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Now, back to the show. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. So we tried to find a Tomorrow War trailer. There is none. There is we were misled. There are no trailers for the Tomorrow War, but we will be covering the trailer when it does come out. But yeah, no Tomorrow War trailer. That's we were duped. But we do still have plenty of trailers, so let's just kick it off with our thoughts. For those who are watching on the clip out, welcome to the show, Teens Talk Movies. It's a clip out of the main show. We're gonna be talking about some trailers. So Thomas, let's kick it off with Woman in the Window, new Amy Adams film. I'm so hyped for this.
Yeah, definitely. It looks very good. And I remember seeing a trailer for it last year, which was probably when it was supposed to come out. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm definitely really looking forward to it. It looks right up my alley. It's exactly what I like in film. So yeah, I hope it will be good. I hope it will be good. The concept and what they're showing you so far is good. Hopefully, the actual film itself is just as good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's gonna be directed by Joe Wright, who's generally known for doing period piece films, such as Atonement, Anna Karenina, and Pride and Prejudice. He also did Darkest Hour, where he directed Gary Oldman to an Oscar. Pan, Hannah, The Soloist. So he's done quite a few pretty solid films. But no, the cast of this movie is incredible. Amy Adams stars, and then there's also Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, Anthony Mackie, Wyatt Russell, Brian Tyree Henry, and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
That is a pretty stacked cast.
Yeah, what a cast. Also Anthony Mackie and Wyatt Russell reuniting.
I know, I saw that as well. I thought, hey, that's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Also Tracy Letts, who plays the dad in Lady Bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's a very stacked cast. We've seen him do good stuff with Gary Oldman before. Hopefully he'll continue that through. And Amy Adams is great in most stuff she does. So, yeah.
Amy Adams is good in everything she does. Don't say most stuff. Yeah. She's great in everything. Okay. She Justice for Arrival. She deserved the Oscar for it. There's so many. I don't understand how she hasn't gotten an Oscar. I'm just rooting for every Amy Adams movie now, just because I want her to get the Oscar. I want it so bad. But yeah, the plot of this movie, it's only an hour 40, so it's a shorter film. Take it with credits, probably only be an hour and a half. Yeah, so agoraphobic, Dr. Anna Fox, and agoraphobic means that you don't want to go outside, which I only know from another movie, Nim's Island, because the author in Nim's Island, who writes books, is an agoraphobe. Didn't know that was a thing. Have you ever seen Nim's Island?
I have not, no, but I did know what agoraphobic was before
Got
watching the
it. Got
trailer
it.
for the film.
So you're just smarter than me. I get it. I get it. So agoraphobic Dr. Anna Fox witnesses something she shouldn't while keeping tabs on the Russell family, the seemingly picture perfect clan that lives across the way. So basically, in the trailer, we see her meet this woman, but then it's revealed that like the woman like wasn't real. So then she starts keeping tabs on like her house and sees some weird stuff going on, and then notices that someone's like in her house. But then nobody like believes her, and then she also doesn't want to go outside. So, yeah, I imagine this movie's going to be tense the entire time, like comparable
It's a
to
very
Get Out.
interesting concept.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting
So it's
concept.
based off of a novel.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
would say this
definitely
is
looking forward to it a lot.
yeah, I would say this is comparable to Get Out, just in the way that like it will be intense and you'll be the whole time, the whole time. But very, very excited. And again, this cast is just insane. Like absolutely insane. So overall, what do you give this trailer out of 10?
I would probably give it maybe an 8.5 because this is a film that I didn't. This is a film that I wasn't very interested in before the trailer. When I found the trailer, I was very excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you saw the original trailer, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think it's the same trailer.
Really? So they just put it out again, made more YouTube
I
money?
may be
Okay, that's
mistaken
fair.
about that though. Don't
Okay,
quote me on that. I'm fairly sure
got it.
because I do remember either it's the same trailer or it's a very similar trailer. But
Got it. But yeah, so I think it's going to be Netflix in July, I want to say, is when this comes out. I want to say. Sometime this year. But it's going to be coming out on Netflix. So, yeah. But moving on to the next trailer on the list here. Not really a trailer. We got a Ghostbusters Afterlife clip featuring marshmallows. Not peeps.
No.
Marshmallows. Thoughts on this clip? We got to see more Paul Rudd.
It doesn't show very much at all. It's just sort of there to promote the film, which is fine. And yeah, it's a sweet. I do like the design of the like little marshmallow people. They were pretty cute. But yeah, it's there to promote the film. It does its job. Yeah, it's fine.
So do we think this is actually in the movie?
I don't know if it will actually be in the film. I think it may just be a promotion for it, which if it's a block, they're clearly spending the money. They're clearly spending money on this project, which does make me look forward to it because, if they're spending money on promotional stuff, it hopefully that's money that's not been spent badly. But yeah, it means they're pushing this film forward.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like such a weird concept for it to be in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this would just feel, to put it bluntly, dumb if it was in the film. They're cute, but like, why would this be in the? I don't know. If this is in the movie, I feel like it would just kind of go off the rails. Though I do think that these things could be a marketing tool and be the new Baby Yoda.
Yes. Yeah.
Like Baby, what's his name?
I don't know.
Me neither. Nobody cares. So, but no, I mean, it was a fine clip. I mean, Paul Rudd was there. That was cool. But I don't know. I just, I just really hope that this isn't in the movie because that will tell me that they're just going completely off the rails with the plot.
Yeah.
Like if we're getting an army of baby marshmallow creatures coming, like, I don't know. Yeah. We got a trailer for Those Who Wish Me Dead, new Angelina Jolie film coming out this summer. Thoughts on that?
This was a film I hadn't heard of until the trailer came out, and it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look like it'll be exactly great, but it looks like it might. If they can make it fun, which, well, not fun because it doesn't look like a fun. If they can make it watchable enough, yeah, it might be okay. I thought what they showed in the trailer was good because it made me aware of the concept of the film without revealing too much, basically.
Yeah, no, it was a very good trailer. It is going to be a film that's going to rely heavily on adrenaline. Like it's going to have to keep your adrenaline up the whole time. Otherwise, because it doesn't look like the craft of it is going to be something that will keep you engaged. It's just going to have to it's a thriller. It's going to have to keep your adrenaline up the whole time. So, it could be fun. I mean, the supporting cast: John Bernthal, Nicholas Hoult, Tyler Perry, are like the main supporting cast. Aidan Gillen. So, I mean, no like massive names in the supporting cast, but all like fairly decent actors.
Yeah.
Decent to good. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm not. This isn't something that I'm so excited for this. Like it's fine.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So I mean, I'm curious to see it, because I'm obviously probably going to watch it. But yeah, it definitely made me aware of the film. I didn't know Angelina Jolie was doing something here, but yeah, I mean, it's whatever. We did get another Black Widow trailer, which is basically just to inform everybody that they're changing their release date to July 9th. But it was a fine enough trailer. We pretty much just got footage that we've already seen.
Yeah, I like throughout all of the marketing so far, we don't really know what the film is about. I mean, we know it's going to be about her past, but other than that, we aren't really aware of many of the plot details that might come up, which I think's good. I don't really want to know what the film's about before going into it. So, yeah, I've been liking what they're doing with this marketing.
Yeah, no, it's been very it's been very disguised, which has been nice. They haven't been shoving it in your face. At this point, I don't think the MCU really needs to do trailers.
No.
Like, they could just say we're doing a Black Widow movie and people would be like, here's $1 billion. So, like, I don't know. I mean, granted, that was hyperbole. You still do need trailers just to inform, like, for instance, like something like Eternals. People aren't going to get that that's Marvel. So you're going to need trailers for something like that. But like, for instance, like Avengers movies, they don't need trailers.
No, I mean, it's still cool to see them though, and like,
oh, for sure, sure.
But I understand where you come from. They're not a necessity. Like some films need trailers to get themselves exposed, but this one,
like for instance, Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Great. I mean, people obviously would have seen it because it's an Angelina Jolie movie, but like that would have been completely off my radar.
Yeah,
if not for the trailer. But yeah, no, I mean the trailer was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
We did get a Space Jam: A New Legacy trailer, and this was a massive yikes for me.
Okay.
This did not look good. This movie looks awful.
Yeah, I was thinking a similar thing. It looks pretty insane as a film, as just a concept. And yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I haven't seen the original Space Jam.
Don't.
Okay. So yeah, I don't.
Why
really
is LeBron
know.
James acting? Sorry, but why is LeBron James acting? When did we decide that was a good idea?
Yeah. I don't know what to think about this film. I mean, I'll probably see it, but it's definitely not targeted at me. And
No,
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to watch it, but
yeah. Yeah,
When did we decide that LeBron James acting was an acceptable and good idea? I mean,
yeah.
Don Cheadle was cool in the trailer, I guess.
Even he was just. It's a very weird project.
Some
I don't know
project.
where they're going with it, but I'm. It's fair to say I'm not exactly anticipating it.
It looks like Ready Player One, but somehow even worse.
Yes, yeah,
Like, and I for one enjoy the movie Ready Player One. I think Ready Player One is a good movie, but a terrible novel adaptation.
yeah. I think the novel. I don't usually say this about books because I prefer films, but it's the book is better than the film,
Oh,
which
far
is
and
a
away.
rarity for me to say.
Yeah.
Like I'm a person who thinks the Harry Potter films are better than the books.
It's give or take for me. Some are
Mm.
better, some are worse, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I think that totally makes sense. But no, like this just it looks like Ready Player One, but bad, and then basketball. It's like bad Ready Player One plus basketball and cartoon rabbits.
Yes, yeah.
When did we
It's a
decide
weird
that this was a
project.
good idea?
I don't know. When was the first Space Jam? When did it come out?
80, 86 is probably wrong. Let me check. No, 96. 96.
96. Okay, so yeah, most most comedy reboots don't work, and
For
I don't
for
think
a
this will be an
reason.
exception.
Yeah. Oh my god. What is this? Like, I'm more excited for the Peeps movie.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely isn't. I'm definitely not looking forward to it. Put it that way.
Okay, before we close out our discussion on Space Jam 2, I will repeat once again. When did we as a society decide LeBron James should act?
Right.
Just
Yeah.
a question. You
Yeah.
can
Leave the listeners pondering.
send in your response. You can email us at teenstartmovies@yahoo.com. If you're LeBron James, then we'll welcome you to the show.
Yes.
But you can't act.
Uh,
So moving on, we got a Loki trailer, and guess what? This trailer was good.
this was a this was a very good trailer. I Loki was out of the MCU, like proper MCU projects that has been announced, so not including What If
Agent
or whatever.
Carter, Agents of
This was
Shield.
probably this was probably the one I was not least looking forward to because I'm still looking forward to it, obviously, but least anticipated about. But
Right.
this trailer has skyrocketed my levels of anticipation. But I'm really looking forward to the show now.
Tom Hiddleston is just so good as Loki.
Yeah.
He's so good. So good. And Owen Wilson looks great in it.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
He looks like like it looks like both of them are just having so much fun in the roles,
Mm,
which is
yeah.
generally a good sign for a film or show.
Yes.
When the actors are just having fun. But no, this looks absolutely insane. Like trying to put back together the timeline. I bet we get so many fun cameos in this.
Hopefully, it's an opportunity to get that certainly.
And I think this is building up to, I mean, obviously this is coming out right at the same time as like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness or post WandaVision, and this is all building up to No Way Home at the end of the year.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we have our own little. I love how they're kind of doing like the comics, where like you'll have like many storylines involving some of the characters, but like still have other stuff like Shang-Chi and Eternals and like Falcon and Winter Soldier doing like their own separate things, but you'll have like mini crossovers,
Hmm.
which is
Okay.
so cool because they have so many, just like taking like 3 or 4 characters and crossing them over, not like a massive crossover, but
Yeah.
just like a small one. And you build up towards the end, which is looking like it's going to be No Way Home for this. You go
Yeah.
WandaVision, Loki, Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man No Way Home. And it looks, I know I'm loving that they're doing like little crossovers. And I know they just have so much material to work with now. It's starting to feel more and more like the comics like just comics on screen, which just makes me so happy.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And there's really not long to wait now before it comes out, which feels weird to say, but
yeah, I mean, we only have 2 more episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
Yeah, Loki's June 11th, so exactly 3 months from when we're recording this. Or sorry, 2 months. 2 months from when we're recording this.
Yeah.
So, yes. All right, Thomas. That is it for our discussions of the trailers. This week we had Woman in the Window, Ghostbusters, Afterlife, Those Who Wish Me Dead, Black Widow, Space Jam 2, and Loki. Space Jam: A New Legacy, technically, but like even the title's stupid. So like,
God, you really hate that film already, don't you?
Was like there a legacy of the first one? Was there really?
No.
Were people clamoring for Space Jam 2? What legacy have you established? None. So don't make stupid titles. I've already decided I'm hating this movie, which probably isn't a good thing. Watch me absolutely love this movie.
I don't think that will gonna happen.
Probably not. Hey, throw Wes Anderson on it and I'll probably like it. Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. Want to talk about it?
Yes, for sure.
What if we just like don't talk about it? Just end the show right now and be like, you know what? We aren't talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier this week.
Nah. We have to talk about it because
the show's just so bad. No, this episode is incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
So guys, if you have not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, spoilers. Massive red button, brown, spoilers. Okay? We save it for the end of the show because if you have not seen it, then you can go watch it. And then come back to hear our thoughts. This will also be clipped out, so anybody listening to the clip out just for our review, welcome to the show. I'm Trevor. This is Thomas, and we're talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 4. This is clip out of the main show. This is for Teen Stock Movie News, episode 5. So, Thomas, I like to quiz you guys. Do you remember what the title of this episode was?
I believe it was The Whole World is Watching.
The whole world is watching. They did make a Trial of the Chicago 7 reference. That is correct. Yes. Yeah. I like just put together that was like a line from Trial of the Chicago 7. No, probably not intentional, but still cool.
Yeah.
So what an episode.
Yeah. Where to begin, really?
Where to begin, indeed. Yeah. Okay, let's just go through it beat by beat. I know we usually look at characters, but let's just go through it beat by beat. So we start out with Io. We start out right where we left off, essentially. But we did get a really cool flashback with Bucky in Wakanda when he finally broke free of his programming.
Yeah.
Though I was thinking, like, is the programming like language universal? Because like, if I had like programming in English, or like his programming was done in German, so like, wouldn't it not work in like Wakandan or English? I don't know. That's beside the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get an answer to that question.
Yeah, I thought about it way too much. But it was a cool flashback. So Io gives Bucky 8 hours to use Zemo before the Wakandans take him for killing their king T'Chaka, which fair. So they find he uses his techniques to like they're all looking for like, hey, where's Mother Danya's funeral going to be? Zemo just goes to like the kids, which is like smart because you give kids candy and they'll do anything for you. So like,
it's why Zemo's one of my favorite characters. He's got a brain on him, and he goes about things in a very clever and interesting way.
I compare him to Loki. He's smart, and you kind of like him, but then he does something despicable, and you're like, I like you, but like you did something bad. I still
Yes.
kind of like you though.
Well, in this series, he hasn't really done anything majorly wrong.
Okay, Loki, Carly Morgan, that was my favorite character of the show.
Wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think she's a brilliant character.
Okay. Okay.
Um, really well worked. And I don't really think she's the villain, because we'll get into that later. I don't think Zemo's the
Yes.
villain of the show either.
No.
Uh,
I think that Zemo might just be gone now, which would be sad.
maybe,
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe,
but I
maybe
don't
because
know. I don't know where his character will go really after this. I mean, you may have a scene where the Wakandan people catch up to him and get him, but I don't really know what
I
more
feel
his character can take.
irrelevant though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
Mm.
know. I still think that Sharon Carter's the power broker.
Yeah, we haven't really got anyone else who could be the power breaker yet, so it is looking like
Unless it is
he will be
Wolverine as Patch.
it.
He wouldn't be Wolverine at the time, but like Logan disguised as Patch, because that's a comic book thing. In Madripoor, Logan dresses up in like a white tuxedo,
Yeah.
and like
Okay.
has like an eye patch,
Hmm.
and he is Patch. Um,
Okay.
uh, like it's a real thing here. Here I'll share my screen. Obviously, the listeners won't be able to see this, but for you to see, here is Patch, and he's just like this Madripoor dealer.
Well, okay, okay.
And
I don't think we'll get him, but I mean,
how amazing would
this
that
was
be
the
as like a
same problem we
post-credit
had
scene,
with
though?
WandaVision, really.
Huh? Sorry.
This was the same sort of thing we did with WandaVision. We amped ourselves up to get someone, and then just didn't get anyone. But yeah, I don't think it'll be him. But I mean, who
I don't know.
knows?
They introduced Madripoor though. Like Madripoor is integral to the X-Men comics.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that would be like, how amazing would that be as the post-credit scene?
Yeah. That would be pretty cool. I think they will probably try and save all the multiverse stuff to maybe the Doctor Strange one. I think what they're trying to do with this series is just tell a pretty grounded story without any
So you think
real
they're getting
ties to
brought in through multiverse?
Pardon?
You think they're getting brought in through multiverse? X-Men?
Maybe, I don't know. It's difficult to see yet, but I don't think he will appear in this series. I think they are trying to keep this no big reveals or anything like that, just a simple, grounded story in the MCU. I think that's what they're trying to do with this series.
So here's my idea. Because I mean, I think that with X-Men and Fantastic Four, they're just going to come in naturally, barring any multiverse. Like, with that, sorry, barring isn't the correct word, with no multiverse type stuff. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was originally supposed to be the first Disney Plus Marvel show
Yep.
in August 2020.
Yes.
So, also, Matt Shackman, who is like the writer of WandaVision, and I can't remember the lady who's the showrunner. Jacques Schaefer. Jacques Schaefer is her name. So they had said that they weren't allowed by Marvel Studios to use some characters they wanted to, because it was being released in another order, than like with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So I think, since this was originally supposed to be the first Disney Plus Marvel show, I think they would have wanted to make a big splash.
Maybe. Yeah. I think it would go against what this series is trying to do in a way.
But I think that's why you do it as a post-credit scene.
Yeah, maybe. maybe. Who knows?
I know it's unlikely that it will happen, but I could see them doing it in a perfect world, which we do not live in, unfortunately.
No.
But Zemo finds Morgenthau at the funeral for her adoptive mother. So Walker, Walker and Hoskins intercept them. But then so Wilson says that he's going to go in for 10 minutes to speak with Morgenthau alone and attempts to persuade her to end the violence. And I love that they called back to Sam used to work with like veterans, as we saw in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It was a really nice callback, and we were able to really see his skills, and he's like really, really good at just working with people.
Yeah, I mean, we this I feel like he could have actually done it if Walker gave him a chance, but he didn't. So
Right.
we could have seen him actually stop what she was doing.
Yeah,
Or at least
yeah, for sure. So another interesting thing with this is like as soon as he went in there and then Walker said you have 10 minutes, I knew it was going to be as soon as Sam was about to convince her, then Walker would come in. But they timed it very well to where they drew it out, like their conversation, a bit longer than you would think. Where you right when you're like it subconsciously convinces you, oh, maybe Walker isn't going to come in. Then that's when he comes. Like it was really well written and paced to where it actually made this scene, even though it was predictable, it took away some of the predictability of the scene to still make that moment work.
Yeah, definitely. And to think if Bucky could just have held him off a bit longer.
Right. Yeah. No, it was very well written and paced. It worked really, really well. So Walker obviously comes in, a fight ensues. Zemo destroys all but one of the serum before he's apprehended by Walker after shooting Carly Morgenthau a couple of times. And Walker takes the last vial. So Io and the Dora Milaje go after Zemo. Walker doesn't want to hand him over, and there's a big fight. Awesome fight where the Dora Milaje humiliate Walker and Zemo. Well, Zemo just escapes, but they humiliate Walker, which I feel like just the imageography isn't the word, but like the images of that fight scene are definitely very on purpose, and I think very important. And I think I don't know. I think it's kind of what we needed to see happen to John Walker.
Yeah, definitely. Because just the line, they weren't even super soldiers, really demonstrated where his character would go. And was sort of obviously his friend's death was the real turning point. But this was sort of this in itself was a turning point for him, the character.
Absolutely. And just in that one line that you mentioned, they weren't even super soldiers. You see that he's still trying to live up to he's still trying to live up to the role of Captain America, and he's having a hard time with that, which is understandable. Like they do make him a relatable. They have developed his character well and made him relatable to where again, spoilers at the end, when he kills a guy as Captain America, you feel a pang of like you aren't just like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy. You're like, this isn't like right, like that you aren't supposed to be like this, you know. And it helps you to relate to the character a bit more rather than just he's a bad guy who became Captain America. No, he was seemed like he was a good person who just fell under a lot of pressure and stress, which led him, and he didn't deal with it the right way. So Carly Morgenthau threatens Sarah and her nephews, forcing Sam to meet with her. so that way she can attempt to persuade him to join her. And Sam says, "Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just don't agree with how you're doing things." Which again is another very timely line, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
But Walker and Hoskins engage other members of the Flag Smashers, leading to a fight where Carly Morgenthau accidentally kills Hoskins. And then this is where the super soldiers things come in. You know,
Yes.
he had been talking about, should we take the super soldier serum? If they would have, Hoskins wouldn't be dead.
Yeah.
And that makes Walker livid. So he runs out, and I mean, he's enraged at his friend's death, and I mean, fair. You saw your friend killed in front of you.
Yeah. Again, it links back to the point is, I agree with what you're doing, but not the way you're doing it. I agree.
Right.
You should have chased after him and captured him and taken him prisoner, not kill him though. Which, yeah.
Right. You can even just like being upset. You're allowed to be upset over your friend's death. But yeah, no, and that you're right. That line works in another context. But he takes the serum and he starts chasing after him. And then Walker uses his shield to kill Nico, one of Carly's best friends, and one of the Flag Smashers, in front of horrified spectators who are filming the actions on their phones. Yeah. And the final image of him of Captain America standing over a dead body with a bloody shield.
Wow, that was an amazing image. Just quickly before that, I loved the way it wasn't just one stab with the shield, it was repeatedly. It was repeated over and over again. I just really appreciated those little details like that. And yeah, as you say, the final image was very powerful, very powerful.
And the sound design throughout it as well. It was very, very good. Before we get into how much we love this ending, a couple negatives. The script felt a bit janky at points, and I didn't like how a couple of the shots early on felt very much like a network TV show.
Okay.
And less like a film, which they're going for the film flavor. So there were a couple shots that kind of took me out of it because it felt like a lot lower budget network TV show. Just to me personally.
One problem I had with it was a shot, as you say, when they were fighting the Dora and Milaje or whatever, and they showed Zemo going into the bathroom. I don't think you needed that. I think you could have just had the fight and then realize afterwards, oh, Zemo's gone. It would come across as more of a surprise, I guess, more unexpected, which I think would work better than showing him enter the room.
Even just like showing the sewer open, you didn't need that. Because just when Zemo's gone.
Exactly.
But again, these are nitpicky things. Overall, it was a phenomenal episode. But yeah, so like this final image, how it contrasts with Steve Rogers is so well done. And like with Battlestar Hoskins' death, like I don't really think anybody had a problem with Hoskins. Like obviously Walker was showing some signs of not being a great guy, but like Hoskins seemed like a good dude.
Yeah. Making it even sadder, I guess.
Yeah. And also Carly, like we see development in her, like she doesn't want to kill people. Like she is doing what she believes is right. But that she doesn't want to kill people who don't deserve to die. And she was obviously horrified and upset with herself. But it was great acting by the guy who played Nico. Just at the end, I love the line like I didn't do it, wasn't
his desperation.
Right. It's very well done. But yeah, and like Wyatt Russell has been killing it. as John
Yeah,
Walker.
he has been very good in the series. I think
He
possibly the standout so far.
oh yeah,
Him
I
and
for sure.
Morgan, whatever her name is.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they
Carly
have been
Morgan.
the best actors in this
Yeah.
series so far.
Oh geez, what's her? I always blank on her name. Um. Yeah, Aaron Kellyman. Aaron Kellyman.
Yeah,
Of Solo. Uh. Yeah, no, they've both been great, and they're both characters who have kind of blurred the line between good and bad, hero and villain.
yeah, yeah,
Um. But no, Wyatt Russell just has been crushing it. Uh. He puts across that, like, you know, he puts across fake Captain America so well. Like like if you were to go to like a theme park and like like there was like a Captain America, that's what it
yeah,
feels like this would be.
yeah,
Like a guy pretending to be Captain America, and he
yeah.
captures
Which is
that perfectly.
yeah, he has definitely been a standout in the series so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes. We only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah, which is very weird. This WandaVision, it was 9 episodes and it really felt longer. This one has just flown by. I
For
can't believe
sure.
we've already had 4 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been like, I mean, we've been doing this podcast longer than Falcon Winter Soldier has been on.
Yes, we have. Yeah,
So, yeah, like it's flown by and like, but it does feel like a film just broken up into multiple parts. It really, really
yeah,
does.
definitely. And one thing I
Uh,
really did like, I don't know where this show is going yet,
yeah,
which feels weird considering we're at the 4th episode, but I don't know where the next episode will even start off because, I mean, will Bucky and Sam try and do something to stop Walker, or will they let it go because he's doing it technically in the line of duty, technically with the government? I don't know where the show is going, and that's what I've really enjoyed about it so far.
right. And we've just completed the second act, essentially. Like this is the
Yeah.
final turning point, getting into the final act.
Mm.
And yeah, you're right. You really don't know where this is going. It really is hard to tell. But overall rating for Falcon Winter Soldier episode 4.
I would probably give it a 8.75.
8.75. Yeah, no, this is 9.5 out of 10 for me. Best
Nine and a
episode
half.
of the
Well,
series
yeah,
by
there's
far.
still it's definitely the best episode of the series so far. I am a bit worried that next episode will be a slight regression, just because this episode was so filled with action and plot that they might take a step back for the next episode and then wrap it all up in the finale. Hopefully, it will continue this momentum, but I'm a little worried that episode 5 will not be as good as episode 4. But who knows? I'm hopefully wrong about that.
Yeah, that is a fair concern. Um, and yes, hopefully they do keep up the momentum. But we've been getting long episodes too. We've been getting like 50-minute episodes.
Yeah, which is
Uh,
definitely good to see.
right, right. Because a couple of the WandaVision, I mean, we had 30-minute episodes to start, and we kind of got up to 40 minutes. But like, yeah, it's been nice getting like close to like an hour of episodes per
Mm.
episode. But yeah, no, this is an incredible, incredible episode. But that is it for a Falcon Winter Soldier review. And Thomas, that is it for the show. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much, so much for listening. And we will see you guys next time. You can find me, Team Stock Movies, on Letterboxd. You can send in a voice message to the show, you can send in an email, teamstockmovies@yahoo.com. You can send in a voice message. The link will be in the description to send it in. We're also, if you're watching on YouTube, we have a podcast feed. You can check that out in the description. And if you're listening on the podcast feed, we have a YouTube channel. You can also check that out in the description. So lots of places you can find us. Thomas, anything you'd like to say before we hop off?
No, again, it's been a good show, and I'm excited for the Oscar show next week. And yeah, lots to talk about.
Oscars preview and Falcon Winter Soldier episode 5, along with any other trailers. and movie news that come up throughout the week.
Yep.
So once again, guys, thank you so much, so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time. Stay safe, everybody, and goodbye.